afternoon and welcome to Capital Account. I'm Lauren Lister here in Washington, D.C., and here are your headlines for February 23rd, 2012. The EU catches on that the Eurozone is facing recession, while Greece is still the gum on everyone's shoe. Our guest has been warning that Greece is headed towards default for 2 years now, and for anyone billing this latest Greek deal as a solution, Kung Fu analyst Reggie Middleton is here to karate chop the accounting shenanigans masking the real story. The EU's executive branch expects the Eurozone to suffer a recession this year. Now, the European Commission, in its latest projections, forecasts 0.3% contraction. Of course, Greece is leading the way in that contraction, but it now expects countries such as Spain and Italy to contract too, which is different from the last time they put out these forecasts. And Greece is, of course, still a huge wild card, despite that so-called debt deal that was reached for its next bailout. Now, the newest news is Greece's parliament approved the bond swap with private bondholders, which is, of course, a key part of the new bailout. But some people say, forget all this news, okay? Greece needs more than a haircut. It needs a full-blown default. We hashed out the leaked debt document with rosy assumptions earlier this week, but there are more financial shenanigans to lay out. Our next guest is going to do that. He's been saying for years that this crisis won't end until creditors recognize and mark down their losses. And for Greece, that would probably constitute the bulk of their outstanding debt. And in the last couple of days, we've seen people like the folks at Fitch Ratings finally catch on. They just downgraded Greece one notch above default. But default, as bad as it may be for one country, is just the beginning. It's really the spark. Reggie Middleton says Contagion should really be what everyone is focused on right now. Reggie is an entrepreneurial investor. He's author of the Boom Bust blog. He's also just an all-around badass, and he's here to tell us why Contagion is what we really need to be looking at. What's going on, and do you think Greece could get out of a depression with this bailout?
Well, I still don't see how it's a bailout. As of right now, the private investors have agreed to a 74% NPV haircut, net present value haircut. And Greece's, the EU's own statisticians, or at least the IMF, have come to the conclusion that a minimum of anything under 75% would probably land Greece back into the bailout table. My own calculations actually calculate at 74% NPV loss. Within 4 to 5 years, they'd have the need to go back to the market at a amount that would be prohibitive. You could take the best case scenario. The best case scenario, Greece gets what it wants. Suppose it does get what it wants with a 75% haircut. Exactly what do you think all the other indebted nations, such as Portugal, Ireland, even Spain and Italy, would do when forced upon stringent austerity measures, paying twice the taxes with half the benefits? If Greece gets away with it, everybody stands in line. And there's no way around this besides debt destruction. If Greece gets away with it, everybody stands in line. And there's no way around this besides debt destruction.
Okay, debt destruction. That's an interesting point. And